Back again, guys, from Tampa Bay. Going out for just a little fun ride tonight. I adjusted my headlamp a little bit. Want to see if I get some better spread right in front of it here. Looks pretty good so far. Yeah, much more usable. It was a little too high before. Now I've got the cutoff straight down the road. I want to run down to a little local beach. Looks like there might be a little storm brewing up. I want to see if it looks cool over the water. And I want to check out downtown Tarpon Springs. They got hit real hard with the flooding, and the main tourist strip was pretty much underwater. I can see some lightning there. So what's going on? Well, tomorrow morning I leave bright and early, about 9 o'clock. Got to ride up, or not ride. I almost decided to ride, but I'm going to drive up to Jacksonville. Should be about 4 hours of traffic, just kind of taking it easy. My original plan was to go up. Look out, Froggy. Didn't want to squish you. My original plan was to go up Sunday morning. I'm speaking. Dude, what are you doing? Jackass. Oh, let's go in the other lane because there's people on the sidewalk. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm speaking at the Association of Bridal Consultants State Conference. I've spoken at a number of their events. I'm a member. I'm a wedding photographer. Officially still, even though it's very, very minor into my income these days. Still have a lot of friends in the industry and still good contacts for other kinds of stuff, even if it's not a wedding shoot. I spoke at the national conference a year and a half ago and a number of local meetings. So this is our latest state conference. And it's a variation of a subject. It's actually partially on YouTube. This one's relating to how business owners can use YouTube to supplement their income and increase their SEO and use it for their wedding businesses. And then I also have half the presentation on general business tech tips. It's things I've seen throughout the years, working with dozens and dozens of different businesses and owners and all that kind of stuff. All the stuff that people do wrong that costs them a lot of money. The stuff that surprisingly to me, well, not anymore, but when I started working with everybody, it was surprising. They just had no clue. Things like, gotta put my visor down. Don't let your web guy or your employee or whoever you have do up your website. Own it. So many business owners don't own their own domain name, don't own their website, and then they lose touch with somebody, or somebody dies or leaves the company, or they have a falling out, which actually happens a lot. And then they're screwed. That whoever owns their website doesn't pay the bill or turns it off or changes it. I've had a case where a business owner trusted this web person, came to me all pissed off. Couldn't get anywhere, couldn't get anything done, couldn't get the website updated or changed. But worst of all, this person started plastering their own contact information all over their website, and she had absolutely nothing to do with the business. She just did the website. But she put this pop-up ad on this guy's website. Hey, contact me for a website. Just completely unrelated. He was absolutely livid. And there's nothing he could do about it. He couldn't get in contact with her. It was one of those things where it was a mutual friend that hooked him up, and she just screwed him over. So, it took a lot of time and effort to get that transferred into his name. But that happens so often. I guarantee when I do this class, this is going to be, I think, an hour-long class. Last one I did was an hour and a half. Man, I run out of time every time because there's so many things to talk about. I guarantee when I do this class, I'm going to ask everybody, you know, who owns your own website? And they'll all raise their hand. You know, I've got a website. And I'll pull some of them randomly, and I'll look them up right there on the spot. And I guarantee I'll find a couple that had no idea they didn't own it. And they're going to be pissed. So that's always fun. But just stuff like that. You know, that's half the class. And then, like I said, the other is how people can use YouTube. It used to be how you can use multimedia and stuff like that, but these days that just means YouTube. And of course, now that Google and YouTube are one and the same, that really helps people's SEO and all that kind of good stuff. And people just have no idea that it's that important. Surprisingly, man, I'll tell you what, the mistakes business owners make are just, they do continue to surprise me. You would not believe how many business owners do not like, care about, or use social media. I mean, they just refuse to even create a Facebook page. I'm not talking about using it. I'm just talking about creating a page for their business. You know, basic lookup information. They just, I don't do that Facebook thing. I can't count the number of times I've heard that exact phrase. I don't do that Facebook thing. And it's always freaking old people. I'm sorry, but it's not a stereotype when it's true. All these freaking owners, they're in their 60s and 70s. They're all cranky and pissed off, and they hate change. They just don't want to do any kind of social media. They're totally against it. I don't even want this website. My son's making me do it. You know, I've heard that a lot too. It's just insane. This is 2015. You old farts are so out of touch. Now, before anybody gets all pissed off watching this video, it probably doesn't apply to you because you're probably not a business owner. You're obviously a lot more adept than the people I'm talking about because you're watching this video. You know, you're probably shaking your head like, how can anybody in 2015 have a business and not be on the internet, not care about a website or Facebook? Well, I'm telling you, they're out there, and they're freaking morons. And it's just because, like I said, they are old, crotchety, and hate change. And it happens a lot. So I go through a lot of stuff like that. Another thing, passwords. Oh my God, that's the other thing with these freaking crotchety old owners, man. They hate using good passwords. I can't tell you the number of times I've had to help people recover. I mean, everything from a complete website that got erased or hacked to computers being locked out because they refuse. They absolutely refuse to use good passwords. The number one thing they do is write them down. Usually it's a sticky note on their monitor or a sticky note in their drawer. All right, that's one thing if you're doing it at home. Okay, I can understand that. Who cares? It's a home computer. You do not do that at a business. There's no excuse for it. Congratulations, you're old, crotchety, can't remember a decent password, so you have to write it down. That's wonderful. You don't stick it on the damn computer, but people do. Or they just use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or my favorite, password. You know, it happens all the time. So I go through all that. And I guarantee half the room is going to raise their hand when I say, you know, is your password? And they'll laugh like it's funny, like, haha, oh, it's no big deal. Haha, yeah, that's me. Haha, I do that. It's like, it's not funny. You're losing money. I've had clients lose thousands of dollars because once somebody gets into one account, they get into your computer, odds are your email is going to be the same password. And that's another thing these idiots do. They all use Gmail or AOL or Hotmail or all these non-business accounts for their business. You know, it's like I say, I'll go through this as an example too. Looks like I need to raise that back up a little bit. We're pretty dark down the road and pretty bright right in front. I think right in between where it was and where it is now will be ideal. I've got great coverage about 30 feet out, but it really starts to dip about 40. But these people use their personal, non-professional, is the point, emails for their business. And they don't realize it until I give them this example. I say, look, let me try the brights. Actually, right where the brights are is where I want the lows. Yeah, it's pretty much in between. All right, I'll fix that when I get home. Anyway, I say, look, if you're emailing Amazon, you have a problem. Is it more professional if you're emailing support@amazon.com or Amazon support@gmail.com? And then they go, oh, I get it now. It's like, God, just common sense. But it's not common. Not at all. They just don't understand until you kind of put it in that light. But I would estimate more than 50%, the majority of business owners, small business owners, don't use their own domain email. So anyway, that's the kind of stuff I go through, and I've only got, I think I budgeted 45 minutes to talk and then space for some questions, but most of the time the questions have to kind of go over into after class or shoot me an email kind of thing, because some of the questions, man, they can be a 20-30 minute subject if it's a pretty complicated thing. Most things aren't a real quick answer, but I have fun doing them. I have to say it's pretty frustrating, at least it has been up to this point, because there's only been one person that I've helped out that actually, what the heck is this? That actually took all my advice, listened to everything, and actually started doing stuff well. I'm not used to the lean angle on this bike yet. That was a piss poor U-turn, let me tell you what. So when I go through all this, and the response after classes is phenomenal. Everybody loves it. I was voted the #1 speaker, even out of the professional, actual speakers at nationals. And I mean, it was standing room only. I had like 120 people crammed in this room last time, and everybody loves it. Everybody's enthusiastic. They're all asking me questions. I give people a lot of inspiration and ideas, and that's great. And freaking zilch do the work and follow through. I'll get a couple of them that think, oh, it's instant success. So after 2 weeks of trying to make a video and they're not making a ton of money, they give up. It's just like completely unrealistic expectations. So I think this is going to be my last time doing it, just because, well, it's not really doing that much good. I do this more for the networking than trying to get the message across, but it is what it is. I'm going to go on down to Tarpon Springs here. It's just bombing down 19 and alternate 19 a little bit. See if I can get down, man, I don't even know how to pronounce the road. Dodecanese, I don't know, something like that. It's a Greek word. Never did hear it said, so I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But it's the little tourist strip where everything is in Tarpon Springs, the sponge docks. Great little place to visit, especially to take out of towners. But it got, oh man, that was a big ass hole. I'm glad I saw that in time and I wasn't over it. Wow, I mean, that was just like a 2-foot hole cut out of the concrete. That is freaking dangerous. I hate how they don't block things off like that around here. There was one right at the end of our street. And my neighbor across the street, who works for the city of Dunedin, there was a county truck doing some other stuff down the road, and he went on and flagged them down and said, hey, you guys need to put a barricade over there. And they were like, huh? He's like, dude, there's a hole in the corner of the road. It looked like a truck smashed into the culvert here and just, bashed a hole through it. So they reluctantly got off their asses and put a barricade down there before they fixed it. Lazy ass government workers, man, let me tell you what. That's not an opinion. I mean, that's Tim even telling me about his coworkers. And funny enough, my roofer was an ex-city worker too. So they were telling stories about back in the day. That's no joke. So I'm going to head on down here and I'll pick this up when I get down to Tarpon. Fuck on the road, asshole. See how close this handicapped fucker came to plowing through that bike because he's driving on the fucking shoulder? Old jackass. That bike came within inches of getting plowed. Dumbass. I'm handicapped and blind. I'm gonna ride on the freaking shoulder because I can. Oh, but I live in Florida. I can get a license. I'll give it to anybody. So here's downtown Tarpon. Let's see how it looks. I've done a tour of this before, but in the daytime and when it looked better. Oh, we got cars down the street, so that's a good sign. That means it's at least dry. They repaved it. I saw a bunch of asphalt trucks out today. Even in our neighborhood, the streets all got completely torn up. I mean, like a bomb zone. So this is fresh. This is probably yesterday. It's not even any paint yet. All over the area. This is what they've had to do. Because where it was underwater, the roads just came up. Completely ruined them. Oh, it smells so good. I smell steak. Big time. Yeah, everything's open. That's cool. That's nice. Chain smoking low class bitch just tossing her butt into the street. Typical. Right up there with tossing it out the car. It's not a stereotype if it's true. Show me a cigarette smoker that doesn't litter and toss their butts every single time.